Okay guys, so welcome back. Again, I just had a license issue, so I had to stop the program, but in effect what I've done here is the backing board, and I've just extruded the piece of plywood, and I've gone up here and just given it some color, and you can change the material up here as well. Okay, so this is a little color wheel that you can use to give bits and pieces different colors on here, as you can see. Now what I did, guys, was I extruded the rectangle, and actually looking at the window it looks more like a square, but nevertheless we're just going for an estimation because we can't do true measurements on the ground. But this rectangle, I just also extruded that out and I gave it a black color. Okay, pretty similar to the actual backing board outside, and I gave the other pieces the white color. So in effect that should give us this finished backing board all ready to go on to our next piece. Alright, so our basketball ring here, again, this is a little bit of an estimation. There is a little bit more detail in the framework, okay, but I've just gone for the basic shape here. Again, if I could rip one down off the top, we could really go to town and get it exactly right, but we'll just go for a bit of an estimation here. Again, when I'm looking at this particular view, I can come back up and place the end of my sketch up here. So say if I look at my origin, I can come back up and have a good look at all of my planes and then slowly go back through my drawing and have a look at the dimensions. So I've made this 360. I've then given it a diameter of 10 and swept it around. And I can move this back down again and have a look at the next plane. So I've offset that middle plane to a point at which I'd like to join the frame to. And then I've sketched out the actual dimensions. Okay, and I've extruded that particular frame there. So we'll go ahead and have a little bit of a go at that. Okay, I'm just going to select a new part. Again, guys, these are really a guide to the features. It's not an exact science when we're estimating from afar. When we pull something down and actually take it apart, for instance like a fishing wheel or a compass, we can measure each and every part and each of every piece and make sure it's accurate. And we'll be doing that as the year goes on. So I've got my new piece. I'm going to create a 2D sketch here. Just going to select my plane, and 460, I made the circle from the center. Okay, and again I'm just going to best fit that one, finish that sketch, best fit it again, and then I come up to my origin planes and have a look at something that intersects. Okay, that intersects our planes, so I can perhaps go a new sketch on here. Okay, so I just want to select the circle tool, go to that intersection point of the ring and our new working plane. I'm just going to put a 10mm circle there, and then from there just going to accept the sketch, go to our sweep tool, profile, zoom in on him a bit there, and again using the middle mouse wheel, I'm just holding that down so I can use the hand tool, or up and down to use the in and out tool. So this is our profile. path is here. And it gives us a little preview. And I'm just going to go ahead and accept that. So this is our basketball ring. Now again, just for an example, I'm going to come up here and just to give you guys a little bit of an indication, you know, go ahead and make that red. Beautiful. So next we just need to find a plane. Okay. I'm going to find this plane and I might just offset that plane back, and I'll bring it back, say, about 100. Wrong way. Doesn't matter, we can still use it from there. And then from here, I'm going to draw in my frame and extrude my framework out. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is, again, select this plane here. Looks very nice. And I'm going to go ahead, find that point of intersection. Going to come out 200. And then I'm going to do the same down the other ends. Making sure that's on 180 degrees. Join those two parts up. It's up to you. You can use the offset tool if you want to, but I think I might just come in and just keep that point relatively neutral there. Again, we're not really looking for the be all and end all. Might go 20 on that frame. From there, and just basically frame that around. Again, same thing here. Just come 20 off the offset. Again, when we're going into detail later on, we'll be able to look at really joining these things up. For the moment, we're just going to, again, just learn the tools. Okay, so I can accept that sketch. And then I can hopefully extrude that profile. I'm going to extrude it 100, say 80. And then that should give us that bracket that we can touch up. Now that's probably looking a little bit, I really would like that a little bit further back. Again, I just have this problem that I can't sort of pull it down and accurately measure it, so we're just going to go for that for the time being. Again, I can come up here and just a little bit of added color. I can mess around with those colors a little bit, and pretty much whatever you like in terms of color. It's a good sort of visual thing, just to break the whole sort of item up a little bit, just to denote that there are different parts to the drawing, and also just to make it look a little bit better. Again, I can go into that plane, right click and turn the visibility off, and then I can save that as the basketball hoop. So the next thing we're going to do, guys, is put the whole thing together. Hopefully if we've drawn all of our bits and pieces correctly, it should go together relatively easily. So what we can do is come up here, and we're looking to assemble. So I'm just going to go standard assembly part, and then we can start playing around with all of our different parts that we've saved. I might just go ahead and open them up quickly, save you a bit of time. Okay, so the bottom frame, I'm just going to open up quickly. Place, and just find that bottom frame wherever you saved it. Now don't forget, you need to save all of your parts in one piece, in one place. As soon as you modify a part, it will be lost. So make sure that you have all of your parts saved in the one place. Okay. So there it is. I'm going to accept that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to ground it. Just so that is the one thing that does not move. Okay, so I've grounded that piece, that bottom post. There it is. So once you've grounded an item, you can unground it by the same thing, right click and then select grounding, but you really need to ground one thing in your drawing, and if you don't, you'll find that as soon as you constrain the other pieces, either joining them or mating them, that your pieces will jump all over the page and you won't be able to keep them together. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the other parts. So next I'll bring in the sponge. Now, as I've been saying, guys, it's a really good idea if you can match them up as closely as possible before you try and constrain them together. So here you can see it's basically at 180 degrees. So if I go ahead and include or place my little sponge, I can accept that, and then if I move these views around, I can use the free move and also the free rotate. So I'll use free rotate first of all, remembering that we've already grounded the pole, so our sponge wants to, we really need to move the sponge towards the pole. And from there, guys, we can come into either our joins or our constraints, whatever you like. From here, I'm going to come in and use the insert key, and I'm going to look for the centers to match them up, and then I'm going to go the opposite, and then all of a sudden I have my pole surrounding my post. Now you can see I've got a fair bit of clearance around here. Again, that's one of those accuracy things. If you wanted to, you could go back and make that a little bit tighter, or you could actually put another piece in there as well.